Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of the Veteran Growth Podcast. If you did not tune in to episode 5, you'll want to be sure you go back and listen to that episode before you check this one out. It's a 2-part series featuring 2 co-founders for a really cool company. And so on episode 6 here, I'm going to be speaking with Jason Madden, the second of the 2 interviews. And Jason grew up in Montana, just as the same as Brad. They met there. Jason went to the infantry and the Marines, served a tour in Fallujah, got out for a short time, and actually went back into the Army where he did another deployment to Iraq. He got his Bronze Star there. He also served in Italy, Qatar, Germany, Africa, and Eastern Europe as a warrant officer. He has an educational background in complementary and alternative medicine, nutrition, and exercise physiology, and training service members. While deployed to Qatar, his enthusiasm for the fitness industry and helping others achieve their health goals became evident when he began to share his workout programs and nutrition advice through a fitness blog. This reached a modest audience of nearly 200 service members and civilians. Jason was also involved in the Army's modernization of its physical fitness program, launching a trial physical training regimen through CrossFit. The results were recorded and reported to the Army's Human Resource Command, which incorporated aspects of Jason's findings in the implementation of its modern physical fitness program. Jason initiated the creation of the Outlier Fitness Project with Brad because he felt the desire to continue to serve his community outside the military by creating a personal training and fitness community that is specific, effective, and can conform to the needs of everyone while still presenting scientific, sound training and nutrition protocols. Jason's vision of the Outlier Fitness Project is to not only be a great service to athletes and regular Joes, but to be a community of people who appreciate exercise science, beards, tattoos, and patriotism. Now, folks, I want to cut to the episode. I'm very excited for you to hear this episode. I will just say this, please listen all the way through because Jason has a very, very creative outlook on how we can help sustain our community, how we can assist our brothers and sisters in times of need. Not only is he doing so many things within the sports science world, but he's also working on nonprofits. So towards the end of this episode, we really get into some good things and some very interesting things that he's a part of. So I ask that you just give this episode a lot of your time. We dove into a lot of really incredible things. Without further ado, though, enjoy this show.
Hard work, you pack 'em to shoot. Hard work, you load 'em up. Hard work, manifest. Hard work, you gotta do it right.
This is the Veteran Growth Podcast, an audio experience designed to help you create a sustainable, wealthy, and healthy lifestyle after the military. For Army veteran and host Kyle Hartman, the goal is simple: never stop learning or growing. Whether you are recovering, transitioning, starting a business, or just want to grow mentally and spiritually, we have you covered. Together, this community can accomplish anything. We've already proven it. You can find more at www.veterangrowthpodcast.com. Please enjoy the show.
Hard work, I'm earning my pay. Hard work, that's what they say.
Hey everybody, and welcome back. This is episode 6 of the Veteran Growth Podcast. We're releasing back-to-back episodes with co-founders of the Outlier Fitness Project. I just got done talking to Brad Anderson. We had a phenomenal conversation. So if you actually are listening to this and you have not heard episode 5, I strongly encourage you to go back and listen to that one first because Jason and I are going to jump right into what Brad and I left off with. Now, Jason, it's a pleasure to have you on my show. I know you're actually on travel. You're with Brad out in Montana. You're originally from where? Washington?
Oh, I am actually. I grew up in Montana.
Oh, okay.
I was born in Washington State. Spent very few years there, and then just kind of traveled around with family. And eventually, made our way to Montana, and that's where Brad and I met.
Got you.
At a really young age, and kind of.
You're just you don't live in Montana now, do you?
No, I'm living in the greater Boston area. My wife is still active duty Air Force.
Got you. So yeah, that's what I was getting to. You traveled to Montana to work on stuff with Brad, and so that's when we got you guys together to do the show. Okay, cool, yeah.
We're here to sharpen the business up and be able to provide more value to our clients and future clients coming forward.
Yeah, now I know we mentioned a lot about the Outlier Fitness Project. You guys co-founded it. I know that there's a lot of things you guys want to do as far as teaching people more about the science of it. So give us a little more detail about like the structure, how you guys function. What is your actual services to the clients as they come in?
So the services are pretty easy. We do the meal programming, we do the workout planning, and we provide full service coaching.
Okay.
So we call ourselves the Netflix of sports science because you don't need a gym to be coached by us. You don't need to be in proximity to us. We can, and just to kind of clarify, don't need a gym. We can even help you if you don't have one. If you're, a dad that's really busy, can't seem to make it to the gym, you have kids, you got a career.
Me.
We can help you figure that out.
Yeah.
And then as far as the gym piece, we can help you with whatever your goals are. So we do a comprehensive one-on-one consultation call, which is free to all of our clients. For about an hour, what do you want to accomplish? What are your goals? What are some of the barriers and roadblocks to you accomplishing your goals right now? Mm-hmm. And then, we figure that out. We figure out what they need, and then we present a plan. And, this is how we can accomplish this, and this is how, moving forward, what we can do. And, it all becomes kind of an agreement between us and the clients, a commitment.
Yeah.
Going forward that we're gonna execute this plan. And it's going to make sure that it's sustainable and it's something that we can continue to do forever.
One thing I noticed too on your website, you guys have a bunch of free, what looks to be like ebooks. Are they actual ebooks? Are they articles? I mean, they say they're articles, but it's like these free resources you guys have that people can go and read, and they looked very intriguing. I mean, they looked very interesting in a sense of what you're learning about.
I don't know if I can cuss on this, but...
Yeah, you can. We're explicit, brother. Cuss away.
We have it's kind of leaked out on the ebook, but it's what the fuck is periodization.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Part 1 and a part 2, and those are very well in depth, written by Brad and used by some of the resources through his education. So
that's cool.
So those are free to everybody, and in fact, right now we're doing our we call it a #Cuttober challenge, where we're doing lifestyle videos every single day. And posting up my workout, my meal plan every single day.
Wow. Just
so that people that are interested in our services can actually, just kind of tune in and see what a day in the life is on, an OFP workout and meal plan.
And I know that Brad mentioned too, he stressed to check out the Facebook page. That seems like where you guys are providing most of that free value. But are you on YouTube? Are these videos on the website? Where else can we go besides Facebook?
Everything's going up on YouTube as well, all of our videos.
Okay.
In fact, we have a really large exercise database on YouTube as well. So when I'm posting up my workouts and you have no idea what an incline bench press is or a decline deadlift is, you can go on there and you can look at all of our exercises. They're actually performed by an IFBB pro and active duty Air Force guy, Josh Ohashi.
Okay.
So pro bodybuilder performing our exercises for us. Free to anybody that wants to just kind of reference any kind of exercise, really.
Wow, that'd be cool. Maybe we might have to try to bring him on to talk about that and, to stress to the listeners what these workouts are about.
Absolutely. He's actually he's deployed in Qatar right now. So.
That's the guy. You were telling me about him then, yeah. Okay.
That's right.
Okay,
and,
cool.
as soon as he comes back, I'm sure he'll be stoked to work with you.
Nice. Okay. I appreciate that, man. Let's get into a little bit about your military background along with your education, because I know you guys dove hard into the military, you dove hard into your education. You guys both are very sound dudes. I just feel honored that I get to talk to both of you. So running back, so when did you go to school? Was that before or after the military? How did that all fall in place?
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure being you too. But
thank you, man.
I got all of my degrees while I was on active duty.
Wow.
I was university, got my bachelor's degree, liberal studies, big deal, right?
But you still got a bachelor's while you were active. That's not easy.
And I actually did half of my master's degree in project management while active duty, and actually just finished that up earlier this year, right after I got out of the military.
And that was through Penn State?
Yeah, through Penn State.
Nice. Okay.
And that was a tough one.
So, and you joined, you were actually both Marines and Army. You were in the Marines first, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So I was a 351 anti-tank assaultman infantry in the Marines, 01 to 05. Kind of the same track as Brad, but I was active duty. Deployed to Fallujah. I was actually part of the Marine Corps Security Forces. Before that, guarding strategic assets.
Yeah, but Brad was basically active duty, I guess, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
We crossed paths several times during that period. So.
Well, that's good then.
Yeah, it was. It was like having it was like
a brother.
We sort of enlisted together,
Yeah, that's cool.
So I did that. We did Operation Phantom Fury with 3-5 Marines in Fallujah in 04-05. Lots of the same experiences as Brad. It was definitely a hardship deployment. I learned a lot from it, experienced a lot. It makes you, I turned 20 over in that deployment, so it makes you grow up pretty quickly.
Wow, yeah, man. Shoo. And then you joined the Army, coming right out of the Marines, right? You did some, you transitioned and then said, "What the fuck?" And then
I did. So when I got out of the Marines, I was working as a drill instructor at the Montana State Penitentiary.
It's too close to home, man.
Yeah, right. And I was just not happy with that. It was great, instilling discipline in people, but it was not the kind of people that I wanted to work with at that time.
Yeah.
And it was just ready to get back to the military. I had kind of a wanderlust too. I really wanted to travel a lot. So obviously military is the best thing to do it. And I went to the recruiter's office to actually go back into the Marine Corps. I think that slacker was at lunch or something like that because the Army guy jumped all over me. And he's like, "Hey man, I got you orders to Hawaii. Here's all this cool stuff."
The Army's good at that.
Yeah. It's like you get to be an E5 coming back in and all this stuff. It's like, I'm in, dude.
Yeah. We got a bonus for you, everything. Shit.
Yeah.
So you went back in as 11 Bravo?
I went back in as 11 Bravo for about 4 more years. I was at 121 Infantry out of Hawaii, and Striker Battalion, Striker Brigade, 2nd Striker Brigade, and did a long 18-month deployment in Iraq during that time. So I kind of got most of my time in Hawaii was on the PTA training area, NTC, and in Iraq.
Shoot.
I got a heartbeat to really enjoy, the island and everything.
Was that the deployment?
Next week.
Was that the deployment that you earned your star?
Yeah, I got a Bronze Star when I was on that deployment. We were in Solder City, just off of Route Grizzly. We had my fire team. I was a fire team leader at the time. We had ambushed a 6-man IED team. Actually, it was more of them than us. And then they had a QRF reinforcement team that basically charged us from the area across Grizzlies where we're not able to go to at that time.
Yeah.
So they basically had their machine guns and their rockets set up, and they were ready hard. So we had our sniper team across the street that saved our butts. We returned a lot of fire with them and just kind of held out until our strikers and air support came in, and we all made it out okay.
Well, yeah, congrats on that, and thank you for everything that you had to do to get that. I just wanted to, I don't want to talk about things you're not comfortable with, but I definitely want people to understand that, you and Brad, you guys didn't have no kosher military careers. I mean, you guys definitely had your trying times through those processes, and then you still stayed in the Army for some time after that deployment even, and became
after that I became a 35 Lima, which is a enlisted counterintelligence agent.
Cool.
Yeah. and then went to U.S. Army Africa in Italy, and spent most of my time in Africa. Went around probably about 11 different countries in Africa. I taught at specific defense intelligence colleges for all sorts of different countries. Just basically teaching them, low-level military intelligence tradecraft, and all that kind of cool stuff. How to do document actual exploitation and Domex kind of stuff. it was a really great mission.
I'm kind of waiting for the day somebody drops like an Intel podcast where you just highlight the people who had Intel jobs to talk about their stories. Because I feel like you find some of the most fascinating career paths. I went in as a 35 Papa crypto linguist, and just getting to meet some of the 35 mics, the interrogators, getting to be next to. I was Delta Company, Echo Company was all of our special forces guys that were going through their Q course or whatever. And it's just like you meet some people who get to go to all these crazy places in the world and they experience things that you would have never even thought of.
Wow,
yeah, so it's cool.
It's funny that you mentioned that. Pete Turner is a former 97 Bravo back before they changed the designator to 35 Lima for counterintelligence. He actually has a podcast called Spy vs. Spy that I'll be on next month and talking about exactly that kind of stuff.
Really?
Just those crazy little things
Hold on.
in Africa, those crazy little things here and there.
Spy vs. Spy?
Yeah.
I'm going to check that one out. What's his name again?
Pete Turner.
Pete Turner. Okay. Pete, I'm going to check out your stuff, man. That sounds exactly like what I was thinking of.
Yeah, man. Check him out on LinkedIn.
Okay.
He's doing a big thing for Veterans Day, and he's actually going to do a shout out for the Tony Robbins deal that I'm doing, and then I'm going to talk about it a little later.
Yeah, we're going to get into that too, because that's coming up. So, honestly, dude, we could probably just go ahead and start talking about that, because it's coming up. I know that this is the reason we threw Brad first, because then after this episode, I'm going to try to get Matthew Sanchez on here. But I know you're actually working on a couple of nonprofits, right? So we can go, let's go through the other ones first, right? And then we'll talk about that one last.
So this is kind of how I got into it. I have another business. It's a franchise business called The Entrepreneur Source. And what I do is I help folks, about 90% military folks, I help them with their military transition, give them tools, education, and resources on business ownership in the franchise sector. So I give them, a no-cost, no-obligation kind of process where we get to learn about franchising, because there's a lot of guys that are actually really interested in doing a business that actually has guidelines and SOPs and rules and regulations.
What if somebody doesn't know that they're in franchising? I mean, how would you get somebody that doesn't even know that much yet to understand that that's what you help with? I mean,
I tell them.
Okay, just like what it is.
It's business ownership, but we're primarily going to talk about business opportunities in franchising.
Okay, gotcha. So go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's all right. So we do that. I work with a lot of folks that are into that, because there's a lot of guys out there that are senior enlisted 11 Bravos. They really don't want to be a security guard. They don't have any opportunities for great jobs unless they have a great education and a great network. So showing different opportunities that can actually really make you a great deal of income once you start getting a business running, and kind of being able to operate on your own program, it's really appealing.
Yeah.
And just showing people how to do that alone has been extremely rewarding.
That's good. I think 50% of World War II veterans is what it is, came out and became entrepreneurs.
Exactly.
And not that we all have to be entrepreneurs as veterans, but I think there's something that the military trains us and teaches us that helps us to become business owners.
Yeah, I think it's a lot to do with, like I said earlier, being able to run SOPs and regulations, and applying critical thinking to all those rules and regulations when they don't work the first time.
Yeah.
Plan A, which always fails, doesn't work. We're really good about developing that plan B on the spot, and keeping those businesses moving.
Not only that, but just being able to handle pressure and having training that has taught us how to deal with ourselves when we're stressed and when we're under a very high. And that's entrepreneurship is one of the most stressful things in the world, probably. So I think we just have that advantage to strive if we apply it and find people like you. So you had an interview for the Entrepreneur Source. Was that all related to what you're doing to help folks?
Yes, it's on the Business Insiders Radio. So I have a link for that if anybody wants to learn a little bit more about it.
I was going to say, we'll post that link. So if anybody wants more information, the link will be posted on this podcast. You can just click that and hear more about that there, because I think what you're doing is incredible. And I wish that there was more folks out there that were willing to help people for free at first. There's this big,
I never have any financial payment with my clients.
There's always this fear that they're going to have to pay tens of thousands of dollars to get some help. And even if like you can't help them for something because it's not necessarily franchising, there's plenty of other resources like the SCORE program and things where they can find free mentorship. So hopefully the more people listen to this show, these resources will just keep stacking up.
Absolutely. And I work with SCORE. I work with the Soldier for Life program, the Transition Assistance Program. For majority of services, I'm actually a resource on for the National Guard Bureau in New England.
Dang, okay. I was going to ask if you had thought about working for SCORE or how that works, but no, that's really cool that you guys are pretty all over the place for this community. I love it.
And I don't sleep.
You shouldn't be. Sleep is for the weak, man, or the wicked, or whatever they say. I don't sleep either. I'm always up changing my 2-year-old's diapers or trading Forex in the Tokyo market at 3 a.m. or something. But
that's right.
So it said you were currently working with the Veterans Empowerment Trust, which is a nonprofit. Now, that isn't the one that we're going to talk about with Matthew, right? That's different?
That is the one.
That is the one. So then do you want to get into that one or the one the other one in Colorado Springs?
Let's talk about Matthew.
Okay.
Matthew, Stone Cold Killer, the kid's awesome. He's been crushing it, building up the funding and the resourcing to bring 22 veterans to Tony Robbins Unleash the Power Within event. He's partnered up with the Veteran Empowerment Trust, who the trustee of that is Jim Malunti. He's a New York congressional candidate the last couple of years.
Okay.
He's running this year, but last couple of terms, I should say. But he's kind of transitioned out of that, and he's running this nonprofit where we're not only going to be helping Matthew facilitate all these folks. We actually got the funding and everything to bring the 22 combat veterans to this Tony Robbins event.
You know what's really exciting about that?
What's that?
I'm in a 3-way Facebook message chat that's been blowing my phone up this whole podcast with Matthew and actually one of my friends who lives in New York who I linked the two of them to get him to go to the program. So it's become very personal for me because one of my buddies is getting to go. But it's cool because I'm like in their messenger with them while you're talking about it.
I'm talking about it. That is so cool.
It's cool,
man.
yeah.
And we stopped at 22 because that was for awareness of veteran suicide.
Yeah, it should.
We lose 22 brothers and sisters a day to suicide. And that's why we wanted to bring that number to Tony Robbins to make a big statement, a big impact. And we're going to, position everybody to make Tony talk about it, address it. He's going to address it to the crowd. There's usually tens of thousands of people at these events. And we're not going to stop there. So UPW provides a lot of great training and resources for folks that are going through a hard time or could potentially be going through a hard time just because of some of the things that the trauma they've experienced in the past and everything. I mean, not all combat veterans are have some type of mental problem or anything like that.
Right,
but we all still need a little bit of help. We all still need some type of coping mechanism or just somebody to kind of talk to.
Yeah.
So we're not stopping from there. We're actually going to work with each of these veterans that we're bringing out there as coaches and mentors through neuro-linguistic programming and heart math, which is both used by the Army and the Marine Corps for guys that are suffering from PTSD or PTS, whatever the term is these days. And we're going to work with them with that. We're going to work with them through the career program. We're going to work with them, if they choose to go into businesses and things like that. We're going to support them all the way through.
I think that's really critical too because I work very closely with Warriors on Track. They're the only sponsor to this show. It's a nonprofit that gets guys actual brain treatment that is actually working, and they come to Orange County, right? And it's a 4-week program. And so Tom, the founder of that, was thinking, well, we can't just have these guys cooped up in a hotel for 4 weeks, drinking, doing whatever, twiddling their thumbs. You've got to keep them involved. So they started applying all these recreational therapy to the program. Now it's escalated to the point where they not only have a program where you learn to pit crew a car on a race team, you actually get to do it while they're racing. And then they've even gone as far as now there's driving programs implemented. They've been bugging me to get up there and drive their cars because I have a huge racing background. And so that is one of the things I wanted to point out is the fact that you're not just sending these guys to this event and then just shoving them in a hotel saying, here, have fun. We're doing this for the veterans, yippee-ki-yay. It's like, it's a very hands-on.
Follow through.
Yes, it's more about you guys getting up off your ass, getting the exposure to just travel somewhere, get your mind off the shit. It's been stressing you out. Like, seeing what you're like, reminding them of their potential again, almost, and just like you said, raising the awareness too with those masses. I think it's a very exciting thing that you guys have built. I'm a big believer in going to these events. I think they can change lives overnight.
I agree. I went to my first one back in August. It was actually a business mastery event, but I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
They hit you in the face hard with that.
I got slammed in the face. Like, people are walking on fire, walking on coals and stuff.
Everybody's singing, dancing. Yeah.
Like, I thought this was a business conference. What the crap, man? I want my money back.
Yeah.
But, I opened my mind to it. I actually listened to the message that was coming. It was good. It was very helpful. It was very useful. It was actually reflected on my businesses and my personal life. And, it was one of the best things that I invested into. And I'm, honored to be able to, provide that same kind of experience to the folks that may not be able to afford it,
Yeah. And I'm honestly, I'm envious that I don't get to go to every one of these, because one of the coolest parts about it too is the fact that you get to meet 21 other veterans who are there with you, and then you guys go through that together. So you kind of get your own civilian squad built up again through this experience, and then you got guys that you can call if you need to, and then they'll have you guys. So it's oh man, I'm excited. I'm glad we got to mention that. I know we are going to try to get Matthew on here to talk about it, so we'll just end it there. We don't want to give out too much more info so that Matt can go into his thing, because he's the one that created it, or did you guys sort of start it together?
He started the tickets. He started the fundraising way before we even met.
Good. So I'll get into the ideas of it then from him.
Yeah.
And just
I saw it. I was actually working with another group that hasn't gotten their nonprofit status up yet, called handupnow.org.
Okay.
They had actually won the Business Mastery Challenge in Las Vegas, and Tony gave them, I think, about 100 tickets for UPW. But they've been working really hard, and they're just not ready to start operating yet. Mm-hmm. And I really wanted to get going. And when I met Matt, it was kind of like the same message that he was doing. I was like, please let me help you. Please let me be a part of this.
That's incredible. It's amazing too how things work like that with just the power of social media and networking and word of mouth. And a lot of people forget too, if you're a veteran and you're trying to do something, you have to remember that we have a small community. I mean, it's a small veteran world that we're in, and everybody is so willing to get you to where you want to be. And
absolutely.
So just the power of DMing somebody on Instagram who you see, all you got to do is say something. That's it. And so I'm glad that we kind of pushed to that point, because I wanted to. I got to tell people that listen to these shows, you have to contact somebody. Get a hold of somebody if you're interested, because we'll get you to where you need to go. And if we can't get you there, we know somebody who will.
Exactly.
That's the best part. All right, man. So what about this thing in Colorado Springs that I know it's just in the works? I don't know if you want to talk about it yet, or maybe talk about it another time when it's out. But it sounds interesting. Yeah.
A brief overview of what it is. So we're calling it Less Than Zero.
Okay.
And just to kind of relate it to an existing business model, or something that is for profit, but we're going to do it ours nonprofit. It's going to be an Airbnb for veterans.
Okay.
So let me.
You don't have to give too much info. You can just kind of give a teaser if you want, because I know you're working on it. But I did a whole episode about Airbnb on my very first podcast. So I love their models. I love their methods. And so anybody that says they're working on something similar, I'm always very fascinated. But you just do what you want to do. If you want to cut it, you don't have to spill too many beans. It's up to you.
So I will. I'll spill some beans. So I'll give you a teaser. I'm actually working with a humidor on that 351 mic.
Okay.
Pat Levine, recently retired. He's actually finding a house, like a 5 or 6 bedroom house in the Colorado Springs area, to build this Airbnb for veterans and combat veterans.
Yeah.
So it's not just to veterans, but it's also to the active duty community. So we're placing these near bases and everything. So, for example, have you ever wondered what happens if you're sergeant major and he has a family problem and he can't be at his house? Or something happens to where he needs a place to stay. He has some type of hardship.
Yeah.
There's not a barracks room for him. He has to buy a hotel. He has to crash with friends, and then everybody knows what's business. So we're kind of offering that to senior leaders as well, as if they have, because they need help too.
Yeah.
I mean, just because they're senior leaders doesn't make them, bulletproof.
Right.
So they need help too. So we're going to offer this as kind of a safe haven for them. We're going to have, almost like a USO kind of lobby for them.
Okay.
They give the call hotline. They have, but they're not counselors. They're more like coaches or mentors that are helping them. So it's not going to be so clinical like a military one source or something like that. And also, if somebody says that they have a problem in the military, they get locked up in the hospital for 3 days with a gown that shows their ass.
Yeah.
And then it goes on their record.
And a lot of people are scared to get help because of that.
Exactly. So we can provide an alternative to that, a less clinical alternative with the same safety nets that you would have, especially if someone was suicidal ideations or anything like that. We still would react appropriately to all those kinds of issues.
Yeah.
But we're not putting you in a gown, and we're not feeding you, prescription medicines. We're doing, different types of modalities for therapy, just herbal therapy or something like that, or just meditation, yoga,
Which a lot of people overlook those little things. I think, things as simple as working on sleep schedule, eating habits, getting your mind and body healthy, those I feel like are all things that are important that get overlooked. I mean, we brush our teeth every day, but we forget to take care of our brain and our heart, and it's crazy to me sometimes. But I think it's good that you guys are looking to try to open those gaps a little bit more.
Absolutely, and it all kind of ties all the way in full circle with that, because it relates back to the OFP with that, because overall what we are doing is we're training preventative medicine. That is the best way to,
I like that.
Not have to be on medication, not have to go through all these unnecessary surgeries, medical procedures, and things like that. Just learn to be healthy. Yeah. And we want to do that. We want to help you. We want to train you.
And nobody wants to be bogged down on all those meds.
No.
It's not fun. And I don't trust them. Yeah, I don't trust them at all, man. I think a lot of them are designed to keep you down. But
I agree.
It's hard though because a lot of things that take, a lot of these natural remedies take time. They take time to form habits. They take time to form discipline, to make them all where they need to be. But one thing I can recommend, this sounds crazy, and I've never told anybody this, but a lot of like my fitness goals were achieved when I started acting as if I were a kid again in my head. I mean, because when you're a kid, you're always a winner in your mind. You're always the best. You're always just, I can do anything. And there's never anything that you really stress about or worry about in a grand scheme. And so what really helped me to stay disciplined, to go back to the gym, to get my mind right after I had my tough patch in life, was really just being like, okay, when I was a kid, I thought I was everything. What happened, And just giving myself that self-worth, that self-value. But like I said, it takes a lot of time to form these habits. So what you guys are doing, I think, is incredible, because you guys are getting people to where they get caught up in it. They get occupied, so they don't have time to go back to their old ways. And it's like you make it really easy to learn, so that, learning a skill goes with somebody forever. So I think it's really cool what you guys are all about. And one thing I want to point out that I've kind of just realized is the amount of years that you and Brad have put in, and all the things that you're working on. Not once did I hear a damn price tag on any of it for the last 10 years of work you guys have been doing. It's been school, it's been helping, it's been giving, it's been everything to benefit others. And so what really tells me Outlier Fitness Project is going to be big and it's going to be around for a long time is the amount of work you guys have put in with no expectations. And it's just genuine. It's true. It's like we need more of that in the business world today, I think.
I agree. We bring our military values with us. I'm looking at our whiteboard with our ethos right now.
Nice.
And on the top it says honor and commitment. Our personal outcome does not outweigh our clients. Do no harm. Provide information to better the human race. And we are educated educators.
I like that. I'm excited too for our, I'm even thinking like when we get the security company up and running, I mean, it is up and running, but when we have like full staffs and stuff like that, just to be able to, revert those guys to your guys' website. Hey, go get on one of these plans. That's part of the job requirement. It's just, I can see it already. It's going to be exciting stuff. So,
we're looking at a lot of the combat sports type folks as well. Warrior athletes and everything.
Are you guys looking for more coaches and stuff like that too, personal trainers or anything, or what's the plan on growth for? I mean,
we're going to slowly grow our personal trainers, so we're looking for very specific people.
Yeah, you got to vet them hard, man.
Yes, very, very. We do have one, Matt Duncan in Seattle. He's a great guy. He knows Brad's system very well. He's also ISSA certified as a personal trainer. So we're looking for certification. You want to have that base knowledge, and then we're going to put you through our boot camp. We're going to train you on our system.
That's cool.
So a little bit of commitment on the trainer's part too.
Yeah. Well, that's like I said, you got to vet them because not only do they need to see the company's vision. I mean, there's a lot that goes into. It's just like having a business partnership. Although there's a lot of things that are at stake when you bring somebody on your team and they represent your company.
Absolutely.
So that's why I asked. I wasn't sure if you guys are looking for people or if you're kind of okay. Just you never know who listens to these. And so, I try to ask all the questions I can, but I'm going to leave the floor, Jason. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I think we've covered a lot of really incredible things. I know Brad already mentioned coming back on the show if people have more specific questions. Undeniably, anybody that's been on my show is always invited to come back whenever. So, but I want to leave the floor to you if you wanted to leave everybody listening with anything, and then I'll let you guys get to your day. I know I've taken up most of your morning already, so.
Hey, it's been a pleasure. It's been awesome. I think we've covered a lot of what we're doing, probably not 100%. I mean, we're pretty
active.
Pretty out there.
Yeah.
Pretty active in doing stuff. But, check us out. Check out the outlierfitnessproject.com. Check out the Veteran Empowerment Trust.com as well. See what we're doing with the Tony Robbins stuff. If you want to volunteer for that, we're always open arms for volunteers, and
where can people go? Where can people go to access you for your coaching services and things like that?
So you can find me at the Entrepreneur Source. So with the Business Insider Radio, of course, there's all of that.
Yes.
And I'm looking at what my other.
I was going to say, just like your...
For that is jmadden@esourcecoach.com.
Okay, jmadden@esource. I'll have all these links in, in the description of the episode, too. What I'll probably do is have you email me all of you guys' links so I don't mess them up. But, yeah, either way, we'll get them posted. I just wanted to ask you just to make sure we didn't miss any links when I post them. But aside from that, Jason, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm very excited to get these 2 episodes out there to the public. I'll be working on editing them today, but it has been an awesome experience getting to talk to you guys, to meet you guys. I'm looking forward to the future. Just with anybody else, whenever I have guests, I mean, that's a relationship that's formed, and I'm excited to be a part of you guys' journey. And I'm really excited to send people your way and get them the help they need and get them to that next goal or whatever they're aspiring to do. I know that you guys can get them there if it includes sports science or weight training. So,
absolutely. Hey, it's been an honor and a pleasure, and thank you so much for having us both.
Thanks, man. Everybody listening, thank you so much again for checking us out. This has been another wonderful episode of the Veteran Growth Podcast. This is episode 6, and you guys will definitely want to stay tuned for episode 7, and I guess every other episode after that.